everyone, it's Samantha from Scrapmaster's Paradise, and today is Frugal Friday. For this edition of Frugal Friday, I am going to show you how to make this beautiful little ribbon flower and make this card for you. So let's go ahead and get started. I am adapting an idea I saw on Sharon Field's blog, which is createdbyyou.blogspot.com, and I will link to that below the video down there. So you guys can check her tutorial out. She's got a photo tutorial on how to make these gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous ribbon rosettes, and they're like 3 inches, so that puts them like that big, and that was just too big for a card, I felt. So I'm adapting this tutorial to make it a smaller embellishment for a card. She uses hers on tote bags and even on clothing. I mean, they're just amazing. So you're definitely going to want to check her tutorial out. And then I'm going to show you how to adapt this so we can make them tiny for our scrapbook pages and our cards. So I'm going to start with these circles. They're just cardstock, and I cut them at about 1.75 inches or 1 3/4 inches, and just in a circle. And I'm going to mark the center of this. I'm just going to kind of line it up and kind of eyeball it and cut a hole in the center, because you're going to need the center documented. So I'm just making a hole. I don't have a hole punch handy, so I don't have an anywhere hole punch, so I just punched some little lines in the middle and scored it so that I can open up that center part. I'm just gonna fold some of these little flappies out of the way. Okay, so I've got my hole there in the center, and then I've got some twine here. This is just orchid twine from the twinery, and I am going to push this through the middle. Maybe. I don't know if I can. Okay, that's why I have these handy, so I can push that twine through the middle. It'd be easy if you had an anywhere hole punch to just do that, but I don't have one. And I'm going to actually use a glue dot on the back here. This is going to be my back. And just stick this down, because all this is going to be covered up when we're done. And I'm just going to keep going through that middle and make like spokes sticking out from this middle piece. I want them to be in an odd number, so I think I'm going to go with 5. And let me go ahead and cut some of this off. I don't want it on this big thing, so I can just stick the whole thing through it eventually. I'll start like this and just stick everything through. I'm just going to keep winding it around until I end up with 5 little spokes. Okay, there's 2. Let's do another one. Oops, it stuck to my shirt. I grabbed it. Okay. There's 3. And my end is fraying, but that's okay. I guess I don't need as long of a piece as I took off here. Okay, there's 4. And I am going to just use 5 because that's a pretty good amount. And I actually messed up my twine. It frayed too much and one of my strands came loose, so I'm just cutting off a piece. I'll just put that in the trash. Alright, last one. Okay. Actually, that's funny. I don't need to wind the 5th one through. I don't need to poke it back through. I just need to add it to this side. I'm just going to cut that. You only actually have to push it through 4 times, and then you're left with one loose thing, which you just wrap around. Okay, let's see. I'm going to spread these out just a little bit so we've got 5 little things. All right, so that's the base, and we're going to work with this. And I've also got this satin ribbon, and I'm not sure how much you're going to need for this. For her 3-inch rosettes, which are really big, you need 4 feet. So I don't think we're going to need anywhere near 4 feet. I'm just going to tie a knot in the end here, and that'll be the center of our rosette. And that's where we'll start. Okay. So there's going to be my center, and I'm going to twist this part around. I'm going to cut off the frayed ends just so it's easier, and I'm going to stick this through that center piece. Maybe. Might have to use my scissors again to poke it through. So we're running out of space in that middle section. Oh, I see it coming through. Okay, so that's the center of our rosette sticking out, and this is the back side. I'm just going to stick that to a glue dot and cut off that part that would show. Oops, I got fuzz on my scissors there. Trying to cut off so none of this part will show on the front. Okay, so that'll be hidden on the back, and now we can start on the front. So since she said you need 4 feet, I'm just going to do a couple of feet. You can always add to it. I'm just kind of eyeballing an amount. This is just some ribbon I picked up at a craft store in town here. So I've got this long piece, and I'm just going to start winding over and under all those little spokes. I'll just go under this one. And you want to make sure your ribbon stays straight. That'll help make it look more uniform all the way around. Like that. It's staying straight and I'm not twisting it around too much. We're just going to keep going over and under these twine areas I made. And I did an odd number so that you're not going over and under the same ones. So you're not going over the same ones every time. You're alternating going over and under. Oops, I'm going everywhere here. So I'm going to go under this one next. See, that's one I went under. I went over last time, and now I'm going under it this time. That's why I have an odd number. Now we're going back to alternating. See, my thing's twisting. I want to flatten that out. And you can pull it tight. That way you don't have much twine showing, and it'll overlap at each other, so you won't, hopefully we won't see that twine. Just kind of a labor of love going over and under. I did 2 at a time that time. Let's see, we'll get the ribbon flat again. But you can start to see it coming together there in that center, and it's just looking like a little rose or flower, and it's hiding those pieces of twine. I'm just going to keep going. I think it looks so cool. It's going to be so neat to have this on a card. And we made a cool little rose out of just ribbon. It's so neat. Because most of us have plenty of ribbon to do something like this with. The satin ribbon just really looks good. There, it's coming together. I'm just going to keep threading this through until I get all the way filling up this piece of paper. Okay, I'm getting to the end of my yarn and I still have some white showing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this under one more. It goes there. And then I'm going to use another glue dot and secure this to the back again. Just get one of these. Okay, and I can secure this end on the back. That way I'm just left with the yarn on the front, and you can see I can see some of this. So I was thinking I could just fold all of these onto the other side and then they disappear. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I like how strong the glue dots are. For something like this, you're gonna need a really strong adhesive. So you're getting so many layers, so much bulk. Oops. I'm just gonna add glue dots around this whole thing. They're sticking to my fingers. And that way I can fold down all those sides. Get them out of the way because I don't want to see the white on the front of my rosette. My little ribbon rose, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I've got my glue dots all the way around. I'm just going to start folding those sides under. See if we can hide all of those. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm hiding all those pieces, and then I can just use that on the front of my card. It looks like a little teeny tiny rose or flower. It's very thick because I've got all that ribbon in there. And I did end up using all the ribbon that I had taken off. And it's about, I don't know, about 1/2 inch thick. So this is going to be a very bulky embellishment, and I would use a very strong adhesive on the back to secure this to your project, but it looks so cute. I thought that was just such a wonderful, wonderful tutorial that she had. So I'll link to that and you guys can check out hers. And there is another DIY embellishment for you guys to use on your projects. I made this one pink so I could add it to a card. So let's go ahead and get started on a card. Okay, I grabbed my card supplies. I'm starting with a piece of rustic cream cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. That's going to be my card base. I've got my rosette. Also grabbed a strip of pink and a strip of white, and I also grabbed a piece of paper, pattern paper from the Love Story collection. This was part of our December monthly kit. I'm going to start using our January monthly kit starting next week for videos, and I'm going to make a couple of cards for you guys next week using that. But I'm going to use this one, and I've got this piece measures 5.25 this way and then 4 inches this way, so it fits on my base here. I also went ahead and made this pretty border. I just used some red cardstock with some of the Petals Edgeabilities dies. I cut out this pretty border. I used the Petals Edgeabilities. This set came with 3 of the Edgeabilities. I just used the heart one and then the regular border. Cut this out, and then I embossed it with an embossing folder from Stampin' Up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these layers together here on this piece of pattern paper. So I'm going to move everything else out of the way and just start building my border. I'm going to have a pink, white, and then red all together here. Okay, so I'm going to use my adhesive, and I just want a little bit of these 2 pieces showing. So I didn't measure these pieces at all, and then I'll just cut around the ends here. I'm going to get this started. I'm going to line it up on my grid so I get the pieces of paper very straight. You can hear my dog getting excited. My husband came home, so the dogs are getting really excited. Okay, got that lined up. I'm going to line it up with this right here. Okay, so there's my pink border. I'm going to do the same thing with this white one. But this time I'm going to just put a teeny tiny bit of the pink showing. Okay, that way just a teeny bit of the pink shows. I'm going to do the red now too. of that white showing too. Okay. There is my layered area. I'm just going to trim these off right with the pattern paper. I've got that layer done. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my card base. Lined up this way.